I wonder who this guy's gonna vote for.
Yeah, I've got no idea.
No, but like for real though, I'm actually genuinely curious.
Bro, everybody quiet. He's focusing.
What is up, my dudes? We are back again with another video. Today, we're gonna be doing some all-star voting. I literally was just thinking about this. I don't know, it's still early in the season, but I was thinking about it the other day. I was like, man, I just really want to vote for the all-stars already, because I feel like I've been keeping track of stats a little bit more than I had last year. I feel like last year I kind of just wasn't 100% in to all the stats and all that stuff going on. For one thing, my favorite team's the Orioles, as you all know. It's been a little bit hard to actually watch baseball that's like my team. I usually am watching like other teams. That's why I like following players like Machado. You know, other players, I love Mike Trout. I love Juan Soto. Vlad Guerrero Jr. is probably top 3 for me. All those players make us as fans want to go see the game. And that's why the All-Star game is such an important thing. And I really kind of miss how they used to do it in terms of like the stakes. For the All-Star game, it used to be where the winner would be the World Series host. So like if the American League won it, then whoever American League team went to the World Series or have home field advantage for the World Series. So I kind of miss that aspect of it. But the All-Star game nonetheless is one of the best things of the year. It promotes players and it promotes fan participation, which is what we're doing today. We're going to be voting for the All-Star team. And as you can tell, you're already going to know who the NL third baseman is going to be. You already know. So without further ado, let's go to MLB.com All-Star voting. And that's going to be right here. Vote now. The All-Star ballot is here. This is wave 1. So wave 1 pretty much just whittles it down and to make it a little bit smaller of a class to vote. It's kind of important to get some players weeded out. And first baseman, so far this year, I kind of didn't even know that Luis Arraez was a first baseman, so that kind of threw me off there. And it might be a little bit controversial, but I feel like it's between 2 guys, and they're actually right next to each other, conveniently enough. Ty France and Vladimir Guerrero Jr. I feel like those 2 have to be the final 2 in terms of like this list. Luis Arraez could be a great option too if you want a guy with a lot of average, but for me, first baseman has always been power hitter. Average isn't always as good as you might think, but Ty France has been very good this year. He's got 8 home runs, 37 RBIs, 875 OPS. Vlad has been heating up as of recent. I feel like I have to vote for Ty France because I know Vlad's going to be in the final 3 for like when they whittle it down for phase 2. So I think I have to vote for Ty France here because I know that Vlad's going to be in there next time. I think that will probably be the best way to go about this. I think Pete Alonso is the obvious choice. I mean, he's been amazing. Let me go back for a second because CJ Cron has been amazing. I do think he's one of the best. Paul Goldschmidt is great too. Oh, I forgot about Paul Goldschmidt because I feel like I've been keeping track of stats a little bit more than I had last year. I thought this was a no-brainer, but I don't think it is anymore. I think there's actually a few good options here. I think there's 3. You've got Freddie Freeman. He's been okay this year. This is gonna be tough, man. I feel like Paul Goldschmidt, I forgot that he had such a high average. Pete Alonso does lead in RBIs, but I feel like I gotta go with Paul Goldschmidt right now. I know, like I said, they're gonna whittle it down a little bit, but Paul Goldschmidt has been on another level this year. I don't know how I forgot about Paul Goldschmidt. Gosh, I really don't know if there's any like great options here. This is tough. Jose Altuve's been good. So is Andre Jimenez. I feel like those are the only 2 options here. Gleyber Torres has been good, but he's not been nearly what he was like 3 years ago. Man, this is so tough. I want to vote for Andres Jimenez because he's been doing amazing, and I really want him to get his first All-Star selection. So I'm gonna go with Andres Jimenez. Altuve's been doing good too. He definitely will be in wave 2. So I think that Andres Jimenez is going to be my pick for this one. Let me know who you would have gone with there. Second baseman in National League. Now, this is going to be a little bit trickier. I think there's a little bit more competition over here. Brendan Rodgers is really heating up. I mean, if this was like 3 weeks down the line, I might be voting for him, but he's still not quite there in terms of overall production. Tel Marte he's been good this year, not quite what you expect from him. Nolan Gorman has been really good, but in a very small sample size. I mean, 298 average, 930 OPS is very solid. Jazz Chisholm Jr., I think, though, is going to be getting my vote. Ozzie Albies, I'm really surprised is not performing as well as I would expect him to. Only 6 home runs, 24 RBIs, 680 OPS, not the best looking stats. Jake Cronenworth, too. I'm surprised how underwhelming he's been this year. I think the overall class of second baseman in general in the majors is not great. Jeff McNeil definitely is an honorable mention for sure. I feel like he's definitely one of the top second basemen in the league. But Jazz Chisholm Jr., one of the most interesting guys to watch play. I think he's got to be the pick because the stats are just absurd as well. Bobby Witt Jr. still not quite there yet, no in terms of overall production. Jose Ramirez, oh my gosh, this is gonna be tough. Rafael Devers or Jose Ramirez? I forgot about Jose Ramirez again. Dude, I gotta stop saying there's an obvious pick because I just forget about guys for some reason. I just think I have to vote for Jose Ramirez. The OPS is better. Third base in the National League. He has cooled off a little bit recently, I do understand that, but I just think that Machado and Arenado have to be the two finalists here. Brandon Drury has been good for the Reds, not quite as good as Machado or Arenado though. Austin Riley has been great. He's got an 852 OPS. Pretty solid 260 average. Turner's been terrible this year. I don't know what's going on with him. Machado's been the best third baseman in the National League this year. He gets my pick. Shortstop for the American League. There's not a lot of great options. Let me be real with you guys. There's not even, I don't even know if there's one guy with an OPS. No, there's two guys with an OPS. No, there's. Can I just stop thinking before I start speaking, or speaking before I start thinking? This is ridiculous. Tim Anderson might be the pick. Xander Bogaerts has been great this year. Wander Franco's not been amazing. Crawford's been good. I mean, his defense is what would be, getting him to the All-Star game. Correa's been very underwhelming in his first year. Only 3 home runs so far. Jeremy Pena has been great, but he has cooled off recently. There's a lot of these guys that have just had a great start, and they're already starting to cool off ahead of the All-Star game. I feel like I got to go Tim Anderson, though. The average is just so great. The OPS is a little bit better. Overall, I know that Bogaerts has more RBIs and stuff, but Tim Anderson's more of a leadoff guy. Obviously, Fernando Tatis Jr. doesn't even have any stats. Can you imagine if he made the All-Star team without even playing a game? That'd be insane. Trey Turner's been great this year. I feel like he's got to get the pick. Really, there's no one else that's even close. I mean, look at all these averages. This is pretty obvious. I think Trey Turner's got to be the pick. There really was no one else with an OPS over 800. Sample size, Trey Turner, for playing every day, had the best OPS. Catcher. I think this is going to be Alejandro Kirk. I haven't even looked at the list really that in depth yet, but I feel like Alejandro Kirk has been just amazing this year. 878 OPS, 5 home runs, 16 RBIs. He's on my fantasy team, so I definitely am aware of this guy. 322 average. Alejandro Kirk has got to be getting the pick. I think I'm going to make a video on how Alejandro Kirk is the most underrated catcher as well, so keep an eye out for that video. National League catcher. Man, the competition this year is not as great as we would once have thought. Will Smith usually is amazing. He's been a little bit slow start this year. JT Realmuto, arguably the best catcher in the league the last few years, is not even close to where he was. Now he doesn't even have a 700 OPS. So Wilson Contreras and Tyler Stevenson, I feel like, are the final two. I feel like Contreras has got to get the pick. He's just been a great offensive catcher this year. I'm going to pick Wilson Contreras. Outfield now, we get to pick 3 per league. Obvious choice. Let's get him out of the way so we don't forget about it. If I can find him, Mike Trout, obviously, is the best player in the game still. He had a little bit of a rough patch last week, but he's still the best player in the bigs. We got to go with him. Taylor Ward, his buddy, over there in the outfield playing right field. I want to see that in the All-Star game. Mike Trout and Taylor Ward, center and right field. Angels have a great outfield. I would love to pick Cedric, but he's had a little bit of a rough start. And obviously, Aaron Judge, I think, has to be the pick. Let me just look at the list before I pick him. Aaron Judge has to be the last pick. Aaron Judge, Taylor Ward, and Mike Trout in the outfield. That's going to be a ridiculous outfield in the All-Star game. National League outfield now. This is going to be a little bit tricky, I think. Mookie Betts, I think, definitely gets a pick. Ronald Acuna, man. I wish Ronald Acuna had gotten a little bit more playing time because he's been amazing. Mike Yastrzemski, man. Even Brian Reynolds hasn't been doing good. 690 OPS. Wow, that's a lot lower than I thought. Peterson, I think he's been platooning. Let's look at his baseball reference page because I don't want to pick someone who's got like way less at bats than everyone else. He's got 137 at bats. That's kind of lower than you would like to see. I think everyone is like around like 200-ish at bats now. Mookie Betts, after seeing this list, has to be on the list. 16 home runs now. He's like second in the league or something like that behind Aaron Judge. We're gonna go based off of WAR because I have a little bit of trouble deciding between these players over here. 0.7. Okay, yeah, he's not playing really defense, I don't think, a whole lot. Yeah, I was about to say, I guarantee Acuna has the same WAR. He has a better WAR than them, and he hasn't played nearly as much. By the time the All-Star game rolls around, he'll be close enough. I'm going to go with Acuna. But what's his... Oh, he's got a 2 WAR. I mean, his OPS plus is still 141. You know what? I'm going to go with Soto. I definitely feel like that was definitely the pick. Yordan Alvarez. Ooh, man. I think that'd be hard to beat. Shohei has not been nearly as good this year. I feel like Yordan Alvarez, after signing that big contract, he's been amazing. Over 1,000 OPS, 17 dingers, 36 RBIs, and an almost 300 average. Really, really great stuff from him. William Contreras. He's been putting on a show this year. Yeah, 183 OPS plus. He's only got 75 at bats, so I think that might hold him back a little bit from a selection. Bryce Harper might have to be the pick here. Yeah, Bryce Harper has way more playing time. Review picks. All right, so to recap, For first base, we went with Ty France, Paul Goldschmidt, Andres Jimenez, and Jazz Chisholm for second base, Jose Ramirez and Manny Machado for third base, Tim Anderson and Trey Turner for shortstop, Aaron Judge, Mike Trout, and Taylor Ward in the outfield of the American League, whereas Acuna, Betts, and Soto, what an outfield this year overall for the National League. Kirk is the catcher. Really great season for him so far. Wilson Contreras is going to be on the other end, National League, and the DHs are going to be Yordan Alvarez and Bryce Harper. I think I made some pretty good selections. I don't know, I might have done things a little bit differently had I been in a different mood, like maybe a little more generous about the at-bats, or maybe like going less off of WAR, more off of this. Anyway, if you guys enjoyed, let me know who you guys would have picked. If you guys had different opinions, let me know in the comments down below. Make sure to leave a like on the video. If you did enjoy, consider subscribing. I'll see you guys in the next video. Later.
I don't care what we do. Can I kick it with you like it has?